This video is sponsored by Atlas VPN. I liked Luca. This is up there with Hilda for me in that it is just a piece of media that I can just vibe with. In the grand scheme of things, the stakes aren't high, the villain is childish, the plot filled with elements that aren't explained, but when I hit that play button, I can just kick back and just vibe with it. There's something just so captivating in the atmosphere of this small Italian village, with these three young kids enjoying the best summer of their lives. This film distills those fond memories of our youth, and we just marinate in it. Now, if you've heard anything about this movie, it's probably been wrapped up in a Pixar isn't as good as it used to be. The decline of Pixar. Why can't they make good movies like in my childhood Discord? And you can ignore all of that. Ignore all the haters, the explainers, the fakers, the stupid raiders. Just go watch the film. Just go have your own experience with it, because that is the best way to enjoy this movie. Now, if you want to hear about my experience with it and how it made me feel, sit down, hop in your headphones, and let me tell you how Luca was sponsored by Atlas VPN. Sorry folks, until y'all start paying me on Patreon, I had to find other ways of putting pasta and vino on the table, which today is Atlas VPN. You know, every day I used to ask myself, wow, why would I pay someone else money to protect my information? That's what incognito's for. I'm totally fine. Okay, so incognito is bullshit, but thankfully I now have Atlas VPN, and for a limited time, so can you. Atlas VPN is a tool that encrypts your data and hides your virtual location, keeping your data safe whether you're at home or using public Wi-Fi. And this is a great new feature I discovered, is Atlas's data breach monitoring. See, Atlas uses their system to scrub the internet to check if your email and other sensitive information was leaked in data breaches. Because the thing about cybersecurity is, you rarely realize that it's happened. But with Atlas VPN, you can be kept in the loop and on top of your data. And with Atlas being supported across any device, you can always stay safe. And if you want even more fun, use Atlas to gain access to region-locked content. Recently, I have been dying to catch up with Rick and Morty, but I don't want to pay Hulu to get it. So, instead I hopped on over to British Netflix, where I can watch it for no extra charge. So come on, cut down your subscriptions, and put yourself in control of your data. You have nothing to lose. And with my special promo, you can grab Atlas VPN for $1.39 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Click the link in the description below, and just like that, Atlas VPN can be yours. Now enough with Atlas, which is far too Greek for this film, and take it back to Italy, which is the setting for Pixar's Luca. As I've already said, this film is a vibe film for me. The plot isn't groundbreaking and the motivations for the lead characters seem comparatively small to something like Finding Nemo, where the story is this grand epic about a father trying to be reunited with his son, or Ratatouille. Luca is simple. It's a story about three young kids who meet one summer, and together they have a coming-of-age story in the Italian Riviera. Now, if I had to put a label on this film, it would be charming. It's not something monolithic like great, or loaded like good. Charming embodies everything about this film. From the characters to the setting to the music, it is a charming film that held my attention for an hour and 40 minutes as I relaxed on my couch while eating pizza. There were moments where my attention would drift from the main characters, and I'd even feel the urge to look at my phone, but then I'd always find something in the background, or there'd just be one shot where I just enjoy looking at it. Like, make of that what you will, but for me, it wasn't a problem. The characters of this film, again, were just so charming. Luca, Alberto, and Giulia were all very enjoyable. Watching them become friends and watching the shifts in their relationship was easily one of my favorite parts of this film, as it starts with a timid Luca being adopted by the extroverted Alberto, dragging him on adventures that Luca wants to have, but for one reason or another feels like he can't. Luca very much looks up to Alberto, seeing him as this fun, cool kid, but secretly, he has a lot of pain. Giulia comes into the mix later and creates an interesting divide for the boys as she teaches them more about her hometown and her life. It's this friend group that serves as the backbone of the movie, and it does a very good job at making us care about both of them as individuals and together. With I think my favorite of the three being Alberto, as in this film he perfectly captures that know-it-all that knows nothing. Jack Razor from Shazam really kills it here and brings everything you could want into a role like this, which is something I can say for the entire cast. The film's quote-unquote villain is an older teen who likes to pick on younger kids. He's pathetic, vain, and oh so full of himself, making you hungry to see his comeuppance. The only characters that I found lacking were Luca's parents, who play into the domineering Italian mom and idiot husband routine, which is just overplayed to me. It's something I've seen time and time again with next to no variation, making me tune out whenever we cut to them, especially when this film has Massimo. He's a bear of a man and pretty much hits all the right notes for that stern but loving father figure. Well, this hardly needs to be said. I'm gonna say it anyway. This film, it's beautiful. Pixar is being Pixar and Disney is funding everything, making this film gorgeous, with there not being a single effect, texture, background, anything that looks less than great. And I just want to commend all the animators who made this film while working from home, which is no small feat. This film is beautiful, and even borrows a page from Hotel Transylvania, in that in spite of using 3D, the film very much tries to have that 2D aesthetic with how the characters are shot to the way their heads are designed. This film has a very storybook aesthetic, and I really dug that. Now, I know what you're thinking. Chorus, was there anything in this film that you are not gonna praise? Well, yes, there is like a few things I didn't really care for. Like Luca's parents, as I've already said, but one thing that I kinda just always took me out of it was Luca's daydreams, as he's a very imaginative kid, he's full of dreams, wonder. So they have him like 4 or 5 times have these dream sequences just straight out of Scrubs. And I just never found them memorable. It's in character, yeah, but in execution, I was never left wowed. My thought was always, oh, we're doing this again. Which isn't the reaction you want to have when you're watching these scenes. And as much as I like this film for being something I can just put on and relax and enjoy, the main motivation of the characters is incredibly small. And I can see some people just tuning out, thinking, what's the point? Which is valid. Again, I don't think this movie is for everyone, and not everyone will enjoy it as much as I did. But I still think it's worth the watch, if just for the closing message of the film alone. And this will probably break up quite a few people's hearts, that this isn't Pixar's first queer film. Disney is long overdue for creating a film starring LGBT characters, especially after they killed Blue Sky's Nimona. But despite not being specifically about LGBT characters, it's also not about LGBT characters too, as its final moments are all about accepting outsiders, of not hiding who you are. And while that not everyone will be accepting, but it's the ones that do that we should cherish. And I think that's a great message for anyone to hear. Kids, adults, YouTubers. This movie is about acceptance, but it's also in that safe, marketable acceptance, where it's saying it to everyone who has ever felt like an outsider, and not explicitly those of just the LGBT, which I'm always fine seeing this message pushed. I'm more just tired of Disney's half-hearted attempts to seem progressive while ducking censors abroad and conservatives at home. Like, I love it. I just think we're long overdue for that film, and I hope we get it soon. I think Luca is definitely worth the watch. It's free on Disney Plus because movies that sell toys are free, everything else you have to pay. From here on though, I'm gonna go into some spoilers. Feel free to pause the video and come back, no shame. You got it? Good.
Nice to meet. Luca, I need you to punch his heart.
Now, going into this film, I knew nothing. I honestly thought this was about Italian boys getting cursed to turn to fish people, or a 13th birthday but Italy. Instead, I got The Little Mermaid. Not the switch up I was expecting, but a welcome one. Luca and Alberto are both merfolk who become human when they're out of water, turning back into fish whenever they get wet. This is never explained, it's just part of merfolk biology, which is something I was fine with. Not everything had to be explained. Sometimes there can just be fish folk who can turn to humans or Italians who live under the sea, and also speak English. That's the stuff I can easily suspend my disbelief for. What I found a bit hard to swallow was the ultimate goal of Alberto and Luca, who after Luca's parents catch him going above water, decide to send him to the bottom of the ocean with his uncle, causing him to run away to the human town where they want to get a Vespa so they can go anywhere. Remember I said this film runs on the summer days of childhood? Here it's like, yeah, they are really digging into that. And for a while I was kind of confused, like, that's it? That's what we're going with? That's what the thing that the plot revolves around? Quickly though, the dumb Vespa becomes the excuse for the boys to become friends with Julia, who exposes the frail ground Luca and Alberto's relationship is built on. See, Alberto, beneath his happy, cool exterior, is incredibly insecure, having been abandoned by his dad, and starts to feel that he's losing Luca, as his formerly timid friend starts to develop his own interests. As Luca discovers many things Alberto told him were wrong, and he even realizes he wants to go to school and experience more human life. Alberto doesn't like this, and the tensions build and build, their friendship is getting ripped apart, till Alberto just snaps and reveals his true form to Julia, where Luca lies and pretends not to have known what he was. And I thought this was a fantastic moment, and at that point, I wanted this movie to forget about the Vespa and just become about them repairing their friendship, which it does, because Luca is going to win money for the Vespa. Now, I won't lie, I was a little bit disappointed at this turn. Look, I was very much enjoying the atmosphere of this movie, but very much felt like an instance where this film decided to have an action finale that it didn't need. It just provided a different way where Luca and Alberto could get outed to the town after getting over their fight. And I kind of think that, yeah, that's a good scene, but did we need this 10 minutes of kind of meaningless slapstick that we just know isn't that important? Even knowing how much Luca cares, we can tell it's such a small thing in his life. And when the town finally finds out, and despite all the hype we've had with them fearing and hating sea monsters, they're all just immediately okay with it. Only the town bully, the guy we're supposed to hate, not liking them. This film just felt like it was wrapping up a bit too quickly. This felt like one of those instances where they just wrote the final lines and kind of struggled with creating that ending that led there. The final act is functional, and it doesn't ruin the film for me. It just feels like a missed opportunity where they really could have done something more with, and I was just a little disappointed in that. Otherwise, I thought this was a good film, and I can definitely see myself rewatching it. All the designs are beautiful, the characters are lovely, and my god, does this make me want to go back to Italy. Luca is a charming film, and for anyone that already has a Disney Plus account, it's a must watch. Alright, thank you all for watching. This has been Sarcastic Chorus. Subscribe if you haven't already, sign up to Atlas VPN while the deal is still good, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace out, have a good one.